Hello, it's the bariatric biologist here. Today is the 6th of April, it's a Thursday, which means it's 6 days since my sleeve operation. And I wanted to share with you the medications that I am still taking now, shortly following my operation, because I was surprised by, first of all, the number of drugs I'm expected to take, and some of the drugs and the ways of administering them did surprise me. None of the videos that I watched prepared me for these. No one, just of the ones I was watching, seemed to share that, or they weren't expected to do the same things that I am. And it might be that if you're in a different country or you've got a different surgeon from me, it might not be the same for you. But at least if I've shared this with you, you might not be quite so surprised as I was. So let me show you. This is my drugs bucket. There are so many, and some of them are really, really big, that I keep them in a washing up bucket or a washing up bowl. If you're American, I don't use the word bucket. But you can imagine that this is quite a lot, which is why I was surprised by the amount. When the nurse walked in the morning to give me and explain all my medications to me, I remember being surprised by the giant bag she was holding. It was big. So let's start with the one I take first thing in the morning. And it's this one here. This is called cyclizine. Hoping you can read that. And cyclizine is an antiemetic, so this is to prevent nausea. Now, I've been talking on a lot of videos about how I haven't really had any nausea. And then yesterday I decided to cut down on these because they're only meant to be taken as and when needed. And I don't have that many of them, so I wanted to kind of save them for when I needed them later on. But that turned out to be a bad plan because I became extremely nauseous. So I actually think that my lack of nausea has been due to these. And I decided to take it, and within 20 minutes it had gone. Now, I've taken cyclizine before, not through prescription. My housemate had some, and any time any of us were sick, she would just say, I've got some cyclizine, here, have it, and on my word, it works well. And you take 20 minutes after taking it, instantly don't feel sick anymore. It's brilliant. So I actually really like these. Now, I have to swallow these. Most of the tablets you take, most of the time after bariatric surgery, you can't swallow tablets, but my surgeon said that these were small enough to be able to swallow, so I don't know if you can tell the size. If I bring it closer and keep my nail next to it, hopefully you've got an idea of scale. They're reasonably small. I've had smaller tablets before, but I've had no problem swallowing these. On the first day I was cutting them in half because they frightened me more than anything, but I never had any issue, and now I'm just like swallowing them willy-nilly. No problem at all swallowing them. But I don't know if you're the kind of person who has trouble swallowing tablets anyway. That might be an issue. So that's cyclizine. The next one I take in the morning is this one called lansoprazole. Upside down. Lansoprazole. And I think this is the brand name, which is Fastab? I really don't know what to call it, but I'm hoping you can read that. And these, they describe themselves as an indigestion remedy. But I remember the doctors talking about this and saying something about how it was really important to take it because it protects your stomach. And these, they call them an orodispersible. The idea is you put it on your mouth, it dissolves in your mouth. It's not an effervescent tablet, it doesn't fizz, but it's meant to dissolve in your mouth. I hate that, so I dissolve it in a little bit of water and then down the water, a tiny bit of water. That's the only way I could take them because they make me feel kind of gross. Let me actually show you the tablets because they all look quite big. Oh, and they come in this really handy little pack with all the days of the week on. So you take one of these a day in the morning before you've eaten anything. I take the cyclizine first just in case taking these might make me feel nauseous. So those are the second thing I take. And they're okay, they taste a bit, they're sweet and but they're fine. The next one is this giant packet here, which is filled with my cocodamol that I've talked about before, which is the painkiller with paracetamol and codeine in it. And I looked up the American name for paracetamol and I've forgotten it, but it's in Tylenol. Tylenol is the same drug. I'm still trying to remember the name because I used to know it, and I've even looked it up and I think it's the lack of calories. I can't remember anything. I'm forgetting all kinds of things. Now these are effervescent tablets, so they're big. So I dissolved 2 of these in a load of squash, and I have to have them with some lemon and lime squash, or I can't. They're not drinkable. They're not very nice. Otherwise, you can taste them. And I'm allowed to take 8 of these a day. So that's kind of 4 doses. I don't. And I'm actually cutting down more and more and more. I was mainly taking 3 doses of this a day, and I think I've got it down to 2 doses, 1 for kind of overnight. Because my pain's actually doing really, really well, but these are really good. But the codeine in them does make you quite drowsy. So I'm careful about things like when am I going to drive. And at the moment, I haven't taken very much, so I'm not feeling the effects of the codeine at all at this moment. There's also another problem with codeine, because it's an opiate-based painkiller. It causes a reduction in gut motility. It makes your gut lazy, which can make you constipated. Also at the hospital, I was given loads of morphine, which is also an opiate-based painkiller. So also will cause a reduction in gut motility. And basically, things don't move. So as a result of that, they gave me this stuff. Now, when the nurse was explaining this stuff to me, which was called lactulose solution, she suggested that it was really just for as and when needed. And I'm wondering if I misunderstood her, because I haven't pooped in well over a week. Nothing is moving, and today I feel really, really bloated. So I haven't been taking this, but really wish I had been. And I started taking it today because of the waking up incredibly bloated, and I swear my stomach is more like this. And I thought the lack of pooping was just because I was barely eating anything. But I'm not so sure now. I think actually maybe I'm just constipated. I'm not very uncomfortable, just slightly bloated. But this can take 2 to 3 days to work. So I'm going to be taking it twice a day now, every day. And hopefully in 3 days, something will have happened. And what's worrying me most about this is that I'm going to weigh myself for my 1 week update on Saturday morning. And if I still haven't pooped, it might be that I'll have put on weight since my last weigh-in. Just because everything's backed up, which is lovely. Anyway, this is like a syrup that you pour out. It comes with a measuring cap, but the cap's in the kitchen, where I measure out the 15 millilitres I'm expected to take. It's not very much, but it is extremely sweet. It's like that horrible sweet thick cough mixture that you're expected to take when you've got a really bad cough. Oh, so I'm mixing it with water because it says take it with a glass of water anyway, just to try and dilute that taste down. But I've only taken it once so far. Let's hope that this sucker works. Okay. The next one is the main reason I wanted to do this video, and it's this stuff here. Let me hold it up so that you can see it. I'm not sure how to pronounce any of these words except maybe the sodium. So, fragmin, doltparin sodium. I have no idea how to pronounce that chemical. I don't know. But you might have also noticed reading this, it says solution for injection. Let me show you this. These are syringes. So this I have to inject every day. This is what surprised me, and this is what worried me. The first inkling I had that I would have to inject myself every day was when the nurse came in to explain my medications and was teaching me how to inject myself. It was the first time I'd heard of this. And I was a bit annoyed because I would have liked to be a bit more prepared. So if you're watching this video and going to have the surgery, maybe you're a bit more prepared that you may have to inject yourself. You might not. But maybe then you can ask in advance. Because I would like to have known. I am not scared of needles. I am not worried by needles. I am perfectly happy getting injections. I'm perfectly happy with people taking blood from me. It's fine. In fact, I used to live with a medical student and she used to practice on me because she knew I was fine. So I'm perfectly happy with that. And I'd be okay taking blood from somebody else, injecting somebody else, absolutely fine. But I always thought I'd never be able to do it on myself. And everybody says, oh, that's perfectly normal. Yeah, absolutely. And I have to inject myself. And this made me quite apprehensive and nervous. My husband said he would do it for me if he had to, but he's not okay with needles and injection. And to be quite honest, he's not allowed to see my stomach anyway, which is where it has to be injected. So I was very reluctant to make him do that because he really did not want to. So on the first morning that I did this, I had to psych myself up. I was lying back, sitting there, slightly propped up, lying back, ready to inject this into my stomach for a good 10 minutes, trying to psych myself up, and then I did it. Do you know what? I was really proud, because now I'm perfectly happy doing it. Like, it's not a problem at all. It was just that first time. And I'm so pleased that I didn't have to get my husband to do it. So this gets, as like I said, gets injection into the lower abdomen. And what you do is you go from the belly button 5 centimetres either side, and then jab it in there. You pinch the skin and then jab it in between where you're pinching, and slowly inject it, pull it out. You don't massage the area, and you're meant to alternate the side that you inject it into every day, so that you're not jabbing yourself in the exact same position every single day. And there was 7 of these, so it's 7 days supply. Well, that seems more than 7. If today's the 6th, oh, but they were doing it to me in the hospital, that's why. So it's 7 days after I left hospital supply. That's why the numbers don't seem to add up. Okay, the final thing I wanted to show you was something I bought myself actually, but they tell you you're going to need them, and it's multivitamins. I was told I would need an A to Z multivitamin, but I can't find an effervescent A to Z multivitamin, because obviously I can't swallow tablets unless they're tiny, and you can't find a tiny A to Z, they're really quite big. So I searched and searched for effervescent ones. Now this is, can you see that? Club Vet's multivitamin and minerals, but I've read it and there doesn't seem to be anything missing. So I'm hoping that it's not just an oversight on my part. But if there's one thing missing, once I can take tablets, I can be on a normal A to Z. And that should be fine. So I'll just be short for a little while. And you never know, I might be getting it in my diet because it's reasonably varied. And I'm trying to add in soups that have got vegetables in it and things. So I might be okay. Problem is, I have not been taking this very well. I'm just drinking this so much every day and having to take so many things. You're trying to get all of your medications in, some of which you take multiple times a day, and I'm trying to get all the protein in, which I'm taking via drinking. I just feel like I'm drinking all day, and this is something else I have to drink with my squash. So in addition to the painkillers that I've been taking, which I basically drink throughout the day to get my the amount that I'm meant to be taking, I have to drink that squash throughout the day. There's just no time left for this. Now I drink it with the squash as well to make it taste palatable, and I drink it with lemon and lime squash, and I managed to find lemon and lime flavoured, because almost everything else effervescent that you find is orange flavoured. I don't like orange flavoured, so I was really pleased to find this flavoured, and it does taste good, but I'm just not very good at taking it, and I'm hoping it doesn't matter. Now that I'm cutting down on the painkillers and cutting down on the cyclazine, I'm hoping I'm going to be able to fit this in a little bit better, because just fitting in more fluid, like when in the day am I going to drink this? And it does take a long time to drink anything, because you can only take small sips and you have to wait between each sip. I mean, your body tells you to anyway. It's not like you're sitting there making yourself take that time. It's just naturally what time you end up taking. So I feel like my day is taking up with drinking. So I'll keep you posted on whether I start managing to take these more often. I'll be honest, I've taken it once. It's just not good. So I'll let you know. So like I said, today's Thursday. My 1 week's anniversary is on Saturday. So 2 days away, and I'm really, really looking forward to doing that uptake video for you and weighing myself and let you know how well I've done, or badly, seeing as I haven't pooped, so it might be really badly. So I'm really looking forward to that. to see how far have I come in a week, and I'll be letting you know how I've done throughout that weekend, talking about all the food and stuff like that. So if you have any questions for me, please do leave a comment, and if you would like to follow my journey more closely, please do subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.